Hello everyone, here are the latest market news on June 1st, 2020. SpaceX successfully delivered astronauts to ISS. On Sunday, SpaceX's Crew Dragon capsule delivered NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley to the International Space Station, marking the first U.S. space capsule to do so with a crew since 2011. The launch by SpaceX, the private rocket company of billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, represented another milestone for the reusable rockets it pioneered to make spaceflight less costly and more frequent. It also marked the first time when commercially developed space vehicles, owned and operated by a private entity rather than NASA, have carried Americans into orbit. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center on Saturday. Just before liftoff, Doug Hurley said, "SpaceX, we're go for launch, let's light this candle," paraphrasing the famous comment uttered on the launch pad in 1961 by Alan Shepard, the first American flown into space. World shares rise despite China-US tensions. Global stock markets climbed to three-month highs on Monday as progress on opening up economies helped to lift sentiments despite tensions between Washington and Beijing. U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to left trade deal with Hong Kong intact also maintained world's markets. In Asia, Hong Kong's shares surged 3.6% and Chinese blue chips added 2.4%. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan jumped 2.1% to its highest since early March, while Japan's Nikkei rose 0.7% to its three-month peak. In mini futures for the S&P 500 recovered to be flat after a 1% drop in early trade. Euro Stoxx 50 and FTSE futures climbed 1.4% and 1.1% respectively. Summa finances banking sector by $13.3 billion. The Saudi Arabian Central Bank stated on Monday it provided 50 billion riyals, $13.3 billion to support liquidity in the banking sector. According to the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, SAMA, the stimulus measures was introduced to help banks maintain and finance the private sector as the economy suffers from low oil prices and actions to contain the coronavirus pandemic. In general, lending to the private sector increased in April by 12.2% year-on-year and by 0.9% month-on-month, SAMA data showed. Meanwhile, the central bank's net foreign assets dropped sharply for a second consecutive month in April as the kingdom used tens of billions of dollars to back investments of its sovereign fund abroad. Capital & Counties purchases stake in Shaftesbury. British property investment firm Capital & Counties Properties said on Monday it will buy back Hong Kong tycoon Samuel Tak Lee's 26.3% stake in central London rival Shaftesbury for £436 million, $540.73 million. The stake is being bought from Valex, a trust fund set up by Tak Lee, for 540 pence per share, which is 13.9% lower than the closing share price of Shaftesbury on Friday. Capital & Counties said the deal for 64.4 million shares, representing a 20.9% stake in Shaftesbury, will be completed on June 2nd, and a subsequent tranche of 16.3 million shares will be bought for £88 million in cash. Rothschild & Co. is the lead financial advisor and sponsor to Capco on the deal.